Hey everybody, if y'all don't know by this title, yes, best friend fell in love with a cowboy and he broke my little heart. He just said, meow. But y'all gotta tune into this video and see how did he do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a Southern guy. I'm from California, but I feel like he done crip walked all over my heart. He done crip walked all over my heart. Watch this video, see how he did that. Once again, and like this video, baby. Tune into the video.
Hey, beautiful. Miss Beautiful. I want to take you out for a nightcap at that cool. Hey, beautiful.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. You already know what to do. This is your girl, Can I Be Your Best Friend? 2. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell all your friends to watch one of these videos. The Let's Talk About Me videos have been doing great. I appreciate every single one of you guys that have been liking, sharing, and talking about my videos. Hello? Let's see if we can get this video to 200 likes, you guys. 200 likes. Now, by the title, you already know what I'm going to talk about. We already know what we're going to talk about. Now, it's not a secret that best friend love her a good cowboy. Hello? Love me a good cowboy. So when I stumbled across my very own cowboy, I'm going to be honest with you. A girl felt like I was in heaven. I felt like I was finally dating someone that was well-rounded, complete opposite of me, but also contained me like he does his horse. Amen. And everything was great between me and this cowboy. The only difference is the timing. I realized that the timing was super bad between me and my cowboy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I felt like if the timing was good, that could have been like my person. Like, you ever feel like you have a soulmate? And because I feel like we all have like maybe like 2 or 3 soulmates in our lifetime. I really feel like that could have been my soulmate. I ain't gonna lie to you. But stay tuned and watch this video and make sure you like, and let's get into this video, baby. And let's go ahead and hear best friend rumble about how she got a cowboy and then lost a cowboy. Now, if you know, then you know. Best friend is a West Coast California chick. So how did I wind up falling for a Southern dude with cowboy boots and a cowboy hat? Like, I don't know how that even happened. Now, once again, I am a girl from California who loves the California beaches and the California sun and heavy love everything about a California man. Now, something about us the California men that are different from, to me, any dude I've ever dated from any other state. One thing about him, his swag is crazy. His confidence is off the chart, and the way he carries himself is freaking everything. So when I stumbled across my cowboy, it was really by mistake. I'm gonna be honest with you. Up until the time of now, I did date a dude from Mississippi. It was my first time ever dating a guy from the South. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it started off good, but then as some of y'all know, and y'all will know very soon from the upcoming video that I will be posting soon, but very soon. But you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the country guy. I mean, my cowboy first. Like I said, I dated a guy from Mississippi, and it didn't really work. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a firm believer of like taking things that I like out of a person. Even though like a person may be toxic or may be bad for you, I do like to give credit where credit is due. So there was a couple things that I did like about the Southern Mississippi dude that I dated. One thing that I loved about him was that he was a very charismatic, All about taking care of his woman, making sure his woman was good, always putting my needs before his. Truly, like, Southern men is all about like taking care of their woman and their household and working hard. Like, he had like 3 or 4 jobs, I swear. And I remember 3 months of me dating the Mississippi dude. I remember he was just like, how much is your rent? And I was like, why is he in my business? And at the time, it was like $950. He was like, bet, I'm gonna go ahead and pay this for you to make sure that that is the least of your worries. And I've never, a California dude ain't never, a Las Vegas dude ain't never done that for me. So I was like, okay. And it wasn't about him paying my rent every month. It was the fact of he was going to make sure I was happy, and he was going to take care of my needs by any means necessary. And he was like super in tune with like me, my body, what I liked, what I didn't like. And I was like, you know what? This is different, because I never really ran into something like that before. So when I met the cowboy right after my terrible relationship with Mississippi guy, I kind of wanted to stay in the trend of like maybe getting to know or giving Southern dudes like more chances, because I started realizing that it was so much about a Southern guy that I really, really, really like, and that really turned me on. And if I think about what I want in a guy, I feel like Southern men have it. I'm not saying nobody else have it. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get this from like a New York guy, or you can't get this from a Chicago guy, or you can't get this from a California guy, or Florida guy, Atlanta guy. What I'm saying is, I just love like the laid back, swaggy of, you know, a Southern dude. Because that's one thing about Southern dudes, like they are so laid back. Like, most Southern dudes feel like they don't gotta compete with nobody. And I like that. You know what I'm saying? So, and fun fact about Best Friend is I absolutely love country music. Yes. A lot of people don't know that about me, but if you know me, you know I love some good country music. Yes, I do. I swear, I can listen to country music all day. Now, I tell people all the time, if you like R&B, you are gonna love you some country music. If you like jazz, you're gonna love country music. It's literally the same thing. They talk about love, how somebody broke their heart, and how they're trying to find their forever. So it was only right that I fall in love with a cowboy. So this is what happened. The first time I met this cowboy, I remember we were just friends. We were legit just friends. I wasn't attracted to him in that sense, but I was attracted to his personality. And the more that I learned about him, the more that I found out about him, I realized that I really did absolutely love his drive, his charisma, his country swag, his never stop, won't stop for my family. Whenever I asked him, like, what is your long-term goals? It was always make sure that my family is good well after I leave this earth. And that's something about that. It just turned me on, and I just knew a cowboy was it. So like I said, we started off as friends, and I would notice what happened. It was like this one, maybe like 2 years ago. Actually, it's like when I first met him. No, I lied. Like coming up on 2 years. And I remember it was around New Year's is when I realized that I kind of liked him more than I thought I did. And I remember like making a joke to him about like coming to see him, and he was like, my door is always open for you. And I was like, And I thought, I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, maybe it was game, but it was game that I was willing to play, babies. And but like I said, we just stayed friends and just kind of kept it just friends. We would converse back and forth. My father passed away. I remember him reaching out, making sure that I was good. It was just like always good vibes. It was never like pressure. Like, I never felt like he ever pressured me for anything, you know. And it was just good. Like, I felt like we could vibe. Like, I don't have to talk to him every day, and it was like always a vibe. And then I would see him in his like cowboy boots and stuff. Then when he told me he rode a horse and he showed me the horse, I was like, yeah,
A good fit for
like
a client.
I was excited. Like, I was like, ooh, I envisioned dogs, like, you know, picket fence and dogs. But I was like, I can do, you know what I'm saying, a large yard with a picket fence and some horses. Like, I was like, you know what? Sign me up. Like, where do I sign up? Like, I think I'm in love. I think I'm in love. I think I love him. I think I love him. And so, and it's so crazy because, like I said, the months would pass and we would lose contact with each other. And then he would hit me up out the blue. I would hit him out the blue, and we would just pick up right where we left off. Y'all know that type of love where, like, you don't really have to communicate with a person all the time. Like, literally, you pick up where you left off. I started realizing that I did like him. So one day he doesn't live in the same state. He didn't live in California. So I remember asking him, like, hey, can you come see me? And he was like, bet, I'm gonna book a ticket on Sunday. I was like, so you gonna go? Like, okay. No, not for Sunday. It was a Friday. And I was like, all right, bet. So we came out on a Friday, spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with me. And it was crazy. Because I remember when I first picked him up from the airport, I was nervous as God's green earth. And I remember the first thing he did when he got in the car was like, he kissed me. And it was so weird, but so amazing at the same time. Because it made me feel like he felt exactly how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Driving home, listening to, music and just looking over at him. And it was just like all good vibes. It was good. And every day, like, it was so crazy. Like, even the first day that we laid down together, our first night, he just held me. Like, yes, just held me. Like, it was nothing sexual. It wasn't like he was trying to do all the extra stuff. Like, oh, I finally got to her. Only got a couple days. Let me go ahead and wax this. It was not like that. Like, it was such a vibe. Like, if I can describe him in one word, it was a vibe. And I remember going to sleep that first night in his arms, like, loving everything about it. He smelled good. And it was just perfect. The next day, we went out. We had an amazing town. I showed him around, a couple places in California. It was his first time being in California, so that was, like, also amazing. And I was so happy and honored that he would come out here and let me be his tour guide for the first time being out here.
A good fit for a client.
And so we went to Venice Beach, and it was so effortlessly, like, it felt like I was around him, like, literally for, like, ever. Like, it did not feel like that was the first time physically meeting him. And it just felt great. It just felt great. And I remember I asked him a question that day. I was like, could you see us, like, doing this, all the time? And he was like, absolutely. I could see us doing this with, my 2 sons and my 3 daughters. And I was like, you ain't got that many kids? But it was kind of cool. He included my kid in his bunch. And I was like, I love that. Like, for a guy to want to be with you, but also include what you got going on, your children, your animals, your lifestyle, in his lifestyle, like, that was dope. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to win me over because he already won me over. So it was great. Later on that night, we wind up going to dinner. So, got to see him, he had, he put on his cowboy boots. He did. So, I got to see him in his cowboy boots, his jeans, his nice, button down. It was such a vibe. And it was just like, I could be in that moment forever. And so the next day, you know, he was leaving. So, you know, I remember like being super sad that he had to leave and drop him off at the airport and literally not wanting to take him there because, once again, like, this was such a vibe. Driving him to the airport, whatever. I know he gotta go back to work. And literally, okay, do not call me a softie, but literally being so emotional driving back home. Like, being so emotional because I'm like, I just didn't want it to end, you know what I'm saying? But it was worth it. And so, you know, he texted me and let me know he made it back home. But then I noticed, like, when he got back home, like, I didn't hear from him for, once again, a couple weeks, a couple months. It was like, it was always the normal for me not to hear from him for a long period of time. But I feel like now that I met him, I don't know. Maybe I just wanted, maybe if we met, you know, maybe things would change. Maybe he would want to hear from me more. But it wasn't the case. It was like the same routine. It was the same, you know. And I remember him, you know, telling me that, you know, he loved me. And of course, I shared those words back, you know, and meant it. You know what I'm saying? And he was the first guy after my toxic relationship that I was able to, like, really let my guards down and really honestly give someone a piece of who I am and what I am without having my guards up. Because you know, like, when you go from one relationship and then you have another, like, situation or relationship and you find yourself having, like, putting your guards up for what another person did, like, I vowed that I would never make him, like, suffer for what the other person made me go through. I remember, like, being so sad, you know, after he left, and I would text him and he would text back maybe, like, you know, days later, hours later, and it just, I realized, you know, like, this is not what I want. And I feel like the back and forth, it was great that I met him, and maybe I should just detach myself from him. And I remember him, like, of course, not liking that idea, but respecting the idea, and kind of like, whatever you want, it is what it is. A piece of me just wanted my cowboy to fight for me, but he was always so in tune of, like, whatever makes you happy, even if it's not with me, I'm okay with it. But I wanted him to fight, but maybe that was his way of fighting to say, like, your happiness is important. If I'm not making you happy, then find what makes you happy. But I just wanted him to be like, no, like, you're not going anywhere. But that's not what he did. So, you know, shortly after that or whatever, I kind of just focused on me, you know, focused on maybe, you know, my health and all these things. And then shortly after, I wound up, like, meeting this other guy that I was talking to for a minute. Once again, still kind of dabbling with, you know, the Mississippi dude, even though, like I said, it was toxic, but, and then, but always thinking about my cowboy, always thinking about him, like, always. I would listen to, you know, different songs, and it would just remind me of, like, the love that I have for him.
Beautiful, crazy, she can't help but amaze me.
And always thinking, like, maybe we can't be together, like, today, but maybe we will be together, like, you know, in the future. So I've always, like, you know, I never blocked him, you know, because, you know, my block game is strong. So I never, like, blocked him. I just gave it a moment for him to do him and then me do me. And so I remember he reached out to me. And I remember when he reached out to me, I was so mad. Because I'm like, are you really reaching out to me? Like, we good? Like, we on good terms? You know what I'm saying? But I remember when he reached out to me, I remember he was like, that's cool that I can still make you smile. I can still make you laugh. And it was true. It was true. It was true. He still had that effect on me. I remember he texted me and he was like, hey, you know, my schedule slowed down a little bit. You know, I have some time. Da-da-da. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he got some time for you, know what I'm saying? Maybe he got some time for me, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But just like every other pattern of our friendship, he had time but didn't have time, and it wasn't enough time. And literally, when I say enough time, it was like once a week. And I feel like if you like me, you should be want to vibe with me and talk to me, especially if you don't live in the same state as me, longer than a week. You know what I'm saying? Once, you know what I'm saying? It's just whatever. So once again, I told him, like, you know what, boo, this ain't working for me. Like, I've always, like I said, I'm a runner. So, because my heart was getting in tune with it, and I just couldn't see myself just getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? And so I kind of separated myself from him. And as y'all know, I'm in Texas. I say this every video. You know what I'm saying? We in Texas. We in Dallas. And so I came out here once again because people ask me all the time, like, best friend, like, what is one of the reasons why you moved to Texas? Like, out of all states. I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, I do love a Southern man. And like I said, I love me a Cali man, but the vibes of a Southern man, it gets me every time. So I ain't gonna lie, I have this little thing in my head that I'm gonna fall in love with a cowboy. Like, it's just what it is. Like, when I say I can see it, like, I can see it clear. You know what I'm saying? Me walking down the aisle in my all-white dress, looking like Princess Tiana and some cowboy boots, staring at my man with his cowboy boots on.
A good fit for a client.
And looking up at the audience. Hey, cousin. Hey, friend. And they sitting on stacks of haze. Like, that's my vision. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my man gotta own a pair of cowboy boots, because that kind of turns me on. And you may ask, best friend, do you have a pair of cowboy boots right now? No. But when I tell you that's on my bucket list, but also when I found out how much good cowboy boots cost, I was like, ain't no way. When they told me that a good pair of cowboy boots cost between $200 and $350, I was like, oh yeah, this is more expensive than Jordans. You know what I'm saying? This is more expensive than Jordans. Like, I'm gonna save up for this. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's just with my vision to always. Like I said, I would love to fall in love with a cowboy. Not if Jesus, God, Lord, our Savior, you know, brings me, you know, anyone else, but I will accept it. But like I just said, like, right now, I just got to think for a cowboy. And it's his fault. It's his fault. It's all his fault. I got a taste of cowboy, and I just can't go back. Like, it's just hard. It's just hard. Like, even like when I'm on a hinge app and I'm looking at dudes, like, I ain't gonna lie, I always hit up the dude with the cowboy hat on and the cowboy boots. I'm like addicted. I fell in love with a cowboy. He blew my mind. He also had a flip side. I was gonna say something like a Gemini, but you know, not too much of a Gemini. You know, But like I said, so when I moved out here, something happened. And y'all gonna be like, best friend, what happened? So I move out here, whatever, I'm getting my household together, blase, blase, blase. He tells me that he is in Dallas. We ain't never been in the same state at the same time, you know what I'm saying, on accidentallys. And I was like, so do you want to see me? And he was like, duh. And I was like, oh, you want to see me? And then I was like, you miss me? He was like, of course. And I was like, I bet, and set something up. He was like, well, what are you doing on this day? I was like a Sunday. And I was like, I ain't doing nothing, hanging out with you. He was like, I bet. I'm gonna pick you up. I was like, ooh. So we did just that. He came on time. He was a gentleman. Opened my door.
A good fit for a
You know
client.
what I'm saying? Was looking good. At that time, I haven't seen him in like a year. But it was like, it was crazy. Like I said, it's magical every time I see him. So, like, looking good. Every time he sees me, he light up like a little Christmas tree. And I do too. And I remember us just riding in the car, just looking at each other, just smiling. Like, literally, just smiling. Like, don't know what, we don't know, we don't even know what to say. All we doing is just smiling. And I'm like, I still got that effect on him and dude. So we pulled up to the place that we were gonna be going to, and we chilled for a little bit because he kept me in the inside. And when we first pulled up to the location, I was like, why we here? But the reason why we was here, y'all gonna be like, he's such a gentleman. He was like, I decided to wait 25 minutes or whatever before we go out. But I was like, I'm thinking like, why? Let's go out. But he was like, because I looked at the weather and it's gonna be raining. It's gonna be raining for a little bit and it's gonna stop around this time. And I don't want you to get your hair wet. I was like, Hakuna Matata, like, yeah, okay, you right, and you right, and you right. So when it was time for us to leave or whatever, it was drizzling just a little bit. I remember he offered me his coat, but I was like, I'm a thug. So I was like, nah, I don't want your coat. So we got held hands. Literally, we walked down the street all the way to this location. We went to like this little club or whatever. It wasn't our type of club, if you know what I mean. But we went. He ordered my drink, seen how my drink was getting low, ordered another drink. I was like, what? Then he was just like gazing in my eyes and just smiling. And I was just like, oh my God, this man is dangerous. At this point, I'm giggling. I don't know, after y'all start drinking a little bit, y'all start giggling for no reason. Heavy on me. So I'm giggling. And because when you're around somebody that makes you comfortable, it's like you've turned into a child. So I'm giggling, he giggling, we kind of going down memory lane, some good, some bad. And I pretty much told him, like, why do you run from me? Like, what makes you not, like, why don't you want to be serious? And he's like, I do,
a good fit
but
for a client.
I got a lot going on and my schedule is busy and I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to open up this business, I'm trying to do this. And I'm gonna be honest with you, him being a father, him being an entrepreneur, self-employed, being what he is, everything about him, the things that make us not be together, the things I love about him, right? So it's not like I asked somebody before, like, do you prefer your man to work all the time or do you prefer your man to be at home all the time? Like, I ain't gonna lie, I prefer my man to be all the time, but I want a balance. And I feel like even if my man is not with me, he should be doing the things that make me feel like he's right there, even if he's not. Amen. The flowers, the phone calls, the FaceTimes, the pop-up visits, the come see me, your flight is in, your email, little things like that. And then whatever. So we wound up getting us some street tacos. It was good. And we went back to where we was at. We vibed, had a great night. Woke up and was like, yeah, skitty itty. When I pull up and you trying to see what skitty is, that's how I felt. Like, I was like, jump on the cowboy. It was fireworks. It was like, baby, that's how it felt. Like, and I feel like when you like somebody, when you vibe with somebody, that's how it should make you feel. That's the reason why I don't understand how it didn't work. Because all the signs that it should is not putting us together. So he wakes up, he takes a shower, literally put on his cowboy boots, some jeans, a cute like V-neck top. We get some Starbucks. We drive home and I asked him a question because I felt like it was weird. It was like at that moment I felt like the conversation we had that night gave me closure. It gave me vibes that what this is will always be what it is. And I'm not dumb and I'm not stupid and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I had to wake up at night, like not be naive about the situation. Like literally, we've been doing this for 2 years. And even though everything is good or whatever, so we was in the car, he was driving me back home, and I asked him, like, how do I make you feel? And he was like, amazing. I'm like, do you love me? He was like, absolutely. Like, do you think about me when when you're not around me? He goes, all the time. So why don't you call? Like, why don't you, you know what I'm saying? Why when I'm not with you, it feels like you're so distant. He was like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm the type of person, like when I'm in my work, I'm just in my work. I'm not thinking about nobody but my children. And I fuck with that. Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But it was like my heart dropped it was like my heart dropped on my lap, because I knew that once I got out that car, that it probably would have been the last time that we would have been together. And it was like literally I left my heart on the seat when I walked out the car. Like, literally, I was sad. Like, we can be in situations, and honestly, we can, and I don't know if you guys ever been in a situation like this where, like, you really like somebody, you really vibe with somebody, you think somebody's amazing, but it's something that just doesn't make y'all stick. You know what I'm saying? And literally, you keep beating the dead horse because the universe is telling you like it's not working, but you're forcing it. And I don't know, I was tired of forcing it. You know, I just felt like, as good as the chemistry as we did have, why is it so complicated? So I texted him. I did. I let 3 days go by and see if he would call me, right? See if I would get something different from him, and I didn't. So Wednesday night, Thursday, I text him and I said, you know what, baby? And I called him and he didn't answer. So I texted him. I was like, you know what, babe? You know, this is not working. I love you. I will forever love you. You will always have a spot in my heart. Thank you for teaching me how to, you know, love again. You feel me? And not being afraid of love. And let me know that love is out there and love does exist. But I can't do this no more. And he said, why do I feel like you're always running? And I'm like, because I'm running and you're never there to catch me. Like, you're never there to be there. Like, you feel me? Like, this is like a cat and mouse game. And once again, like in old fashioned, what he does, he says, if that's what you want, I'm gonna give you what you want. It is what it is. I had to honestly block him off of, and I've never blocked him off anything, but literally I had to block him and remove him from different things that I would see him on, because it would bring up old feelings. Hey, I'm human and I get hurt too. And I know when it's time for me to run. Like, I know this. Now, this is the question that everybody always asks me. Somebody asked me, like on the New York video, they was like, that's right, so would you ever date a New Yorker?
A good fit for a client.
Yes, but I would know what to expect. So, question, would best friend ever date a cowboy again? Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, sign me up. Where do I get my sticker that says I love a cowboy? Like, where is it at? Now, he may not have been the cowboy that I envisioned at my wedding and, you know, being with forever. But the cowboy did let me know that there is men out there that will treat me with love and respect and treat me like I want to be treated and give me the things that I deserve, like respect and loyalty, and make me feel like a queen every time he's around me. And it's so crazy because you ever dated somebody and there was like, oh, you're asking for too much. But it's like, I've experienced feeling like a queen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to expect anything. I'm not going to accept anything less. So like I said, when we were good, when we were on the phone, we were vibing, everything was always great. Did we have disconnect because of timing? I do feel like the reason why a lot of us are single is because of timing. Like, the timing is just not there. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, if he came to me 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and wanted to rekindle anything, would I give it a try? If I was completely single, yeah, I would. I'll be honest with you. I would. I ain't gonna lie. I can't front. You know, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Y'all my best friends. Y'all seen in my eyeballs when I asked the question, y'all knew I was gonna say yes. I don't even know why I answered. Because I believe my man is out there. I believe he's out there getting tortured by another woman. Another woman right now is getting on his nerves, and he just want a woman like me to dun, 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 come save him, right? He is looking for a girl like me to wear matching cowboy boots with him on a Sunday, eating ice cream and going horseback riding. Like, I ain't never rode no horse, but I would be willing to. You know what I'm saying? I would be willing to. But he's out there. And no matter whether he's a cowboy or not, like, I am open to whatever God has in my lap. Like I said, I'm super excited that you guys watch my videos every single week. And I'm going to try my best to be a lot more consistent with my posting. I do appreciate y'all so much for, like I said, supporting me. Make sure you guys share this video with somebody that needed to laugh, or maybe feel like they want to give up, but maybe they shouldn't give up. Because I'm here to tell you, like, don't give up on love. Sometimes it's just not your season. I'm just thinking that the winter season is maybe just not my season. Amen. But he's out there. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to this video. Like y'all know already, this is your girl. Can I be your best friend too? Because I already know y'all already got besties. I do to be a best friend too. Hello? And make sure y'all go ahead and follow my Instagram page, Bestie Vibes Me. Once again, Bestie Vibes Me. Slide in my DM. You know, tell me what y'all want to see, or comment below and let me know what y'all want to see more of. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I think you guys are amazing, and y'all gonna find the love of your life, and I will too.